Askreddit thread. What's something you did in high school that you regret? Didn't attend Chris's funeral. Nobody did. She was frail, sickly, unpopular girl who everyone looked right past. It was big news that a girl had died in gym class, but few knew her, and I doubt a single student attended her wake. Decades later, I still wish I had gone for the sake of her parents. I should hope in everyone's mind that deaths should trump social status in the sense that even if you don't know them, the parents still need a shoulder to cry on. I wouldn't go to the funeral of someone I didn't know. You would hope so, but the whole, oh, she was my best friend surge that went through the school after she died extended exactly as far as everyone's saying it to look like they gave a rat's ass. That happened recently in the community I was in. This girl committed suicide. Very sweet girl. She had 3 good friends, but the big names in the community took charge. It made it seem like they were the most damaged when there wasn't a single bit of them that actually took part in that girl's life. The best friends of the girls weren't allowed to share anything at the vigil. It pissed me off so much. Wow. That's fucked up. I remember I had a friend who died in high school. Sad stuff. Really good friends with him too. He died in an ATV accident in the summer from 9th to 10th grade. Poor guy. ATVs, those things you ride around, the 4-wheelers, fell back on him and crushed his chest. Tried to be cool to fit in, which may be a way bigger loser than anything. I struggle with this currently. Just find people with the same interests. Don't try to fit in where you don't belong. Real friends is more important than just having a crowd because you're cool. Stay true to yourself with long relationships rather than superficial ones. You shouldn't need to impress peers. But if you have no friends, you will do anything, including the marijuana. I did that in junior high. It sucked. I eventually decided to not give a flying fuck about it and found my groove pretty quickly, which turned out to be a whole lot of partying in high school. Seriously though, don't give too much thought to it, just be yourself and nice to everyone. It'll work itself out. See, this is some good advice right here. Not the first part, but the second part. Just be nice to everyone. The third part, being yourself. What if you yourself is a huge asshole? Or just a totally weird person? Being yourself isn't always the best thing you can do, but being nice to everyone, that's a good one. That's a really good way to make friends. It sounds simple because it is. Applied for university, going to an English school, not making friends. Applied for university, going to an English school, not making friends. Canadian? Nope, South African. I was just too much of an outsider in English school. Was an outsider in the African schools as well, but a little bit less. South Africa makes sense, at least for English school thing, especially since Afrikaans is about as common as French there. Since Afrikaans, that's a language, I've just never seen that before. I thought they were spelling African wrong. There was no alcohol left in the parents' liquor cabinet other than the handle of Everclear. Also, there weren't any mixers left at all, so we thought it would be a good idea to proceed to mix Everclear with no explode pre-workout powder and water. Safe to say, we came off a little belligerent and aggressive at the whatever party we were at later. Felt like death for 3 days after. You just undid centuries of evolution in less than an hour. Congratulations. Who the fuck thinks about mixing alcohol with pre-workout? Whatever it takes, goddammit. One day you may. Wrote a not love. I wasn't that creepy letter. You wrote a letter? Who the heck says? Who the heck says letter? Multiple pages, almost an essay. She didn't talk to me after asking her out, so I wrote it and put it in her gym bag. I still have the file saved in my Google Drive, but have not looked at it since writing it. He posted it. Oh, look at that font. Dear Rose, it looks like later hasn't come yet, so until then I'll just write this to you. I wanted to be perfectly honest and just explain everything to you, according to my side of things, even though it probably wouldn't matter to you. For starters, I wanted to know that I like you since last year. Okay, this is really long. Damn, that is really long. 1947, yeah, that's totally the wrong date. if he had it saved in Google Docs. I remember I used to do that too. Last time I was really head over heels for a girl, I used to write really long ass replies and I would delete them immediately after. I had this rule about not sending really long stuff like that. And I'm glad I didn't, because I wrote some really weird shit. And I didn't send so much of it, and I have no regrets because of it. Oh man, I'm just glad I didn't do this. It looks like later hasn't come yet, so I'll just write this to you. That's funny. Edit 4 and TLDR for all people below. This blew up pretty big. I was scared to share this, but honestly feel a lot better afterwards. Most things were kept the same, including typos and font. I only changed stuff like the date, names and places, the sport, and other pronouns to protect all identities of everyone involved. I am not 80 years old. I have not talked to the girl since. Don't plan to either. I moved on and don't care. They broke up after a short time. Call moved a year later. I haven't had much luck dating in general, but at least I don't do anything cringy anymore. Thanks for the gold, dude. I hope everyone enjoyed and/or/slash learned anything. If anything, I hope I made people feel that the cringiest moment is less by comparison. Oh, remember, this reminds me. I had this essay I had to do for one of my English classes. I don't remember which one it was. It was in college, though. Because you have to take a couple of English classes for your prereqs, and I have them all done already. So it was like one of them. Anyways, one of the things you had to write was you had to write an essay about someone you admired or respected. And I always wrote my essays about really weird topics because I knew it was bullshit, and they only cared if you knew how to actually write, which I knew how to do, no problem. I always passed with A's. So I always just chose really weird things to write about. That way the person reading my paper would have a fun time reading it. It's like, oh, well, that's a lot different than what everyone else does. So for my essay on who I respected or admired, I wrote about a guy I worked with named Kyle. Yeah, I almost forgot his name for a second. So I wrote this huge ass thing. It was basically like a love letter about why I respect Kyle so much, and it was pretty funny. I don't think it's cringy because I intentionally wrote it that way, but I still think that's pretty funny. I think I've showed it to a few people. Just because people don't believe I actually wrote that. Well, people I worked with. They're like, you actually wrote an essay about how much you respect Kyle? I also told the person I wrote it about, too. He was a really cool guy. Oh, I kind of miss that dude. I don't work there anymore, though. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't either. Because that was a while ago. But yeah, his thing just reminded me of that for some reason. You have to PDF it and post a link. Almost an essay. Jesus, that's at least 3 times longer than any essay I wrote in high school. Amazing, dude. I'm pretty sure everyone makes this mistake once in their young life. Nah, man, I was too shy to even think about asking a girl out. Low self-esteem, nerds unite. My little brother found my vibrator in my room. I had an older boyfriend that bought it for me, and decided it would be hilarious to put it in my bag before I went to school. I'm in statistics, pull out my book at the start of class, my vibrator comes out with it, clatters on the floor, and slides all the way back from the all the way from the back of the classroom up to the front, right in front of my male teacher and all of my classmates. It was the beginning of the lecture, so it was dead quiet, and the clatter drew everyone's attention. I was frozen in place, mortified. A girl at the front reluctantly picked it up and handed it to me with a disgusted look on her face, and the rest of the class just stared at me. I had no choice but to put it back in my bag and sit face forward, pretending it didn't happen. My regret is that I didn't beat the piss out of my brother when I got home that day. He lived to tell the tale to everyone that will listen. Single most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. Oh, that's great. Clatters on the floor and slides all the way from the back of the classroom to the front in front of my male teacher. Did the law of physics not apply in that classroom? It was a plastic vibrator on a tile floor, and when I took the book out, it kind of whipped a vibrator out forward, causing it to slide. Also, not a large classroom. It held about 17 students. That's hilarious. I sold vibrators out of my backpack at school, junior and senior year of high school. A girl that bought one told her boyfriend about it, and he didn't take too kindly to the competition and pulled it out of her purse during lunch, and turned it on and threw it across the floor. It was one of the hard plastic models, so it clattered along the linoleum flooring with people kicking it around and other people jumping up like idiots until an administrator Got a janitor to sweep it up and throw it away. Since I didn't turn it off, it was first lunch period. It just vibrated loudly along the bottom of the trash bin until the janitor came back during the second lunch period to swap it out for an empty bin. It was good times. So you were a dildo dealer in high school. Who gets jealous of a dildo? High school student. I knew the answer to that as soon as I started articulating that question. Not defending myself from serious bullying, not growing up fast enough to notice anything socially, not doing well enough in class to earn anything valuable. I think you meant learn. Didn't have a good time. Damn, I'm sorry, man. Luckily, not luckily, I grew up to be a pretty big guy, so they can't physically bully me, but verbally, usually I don't care what they say. Sucks for them. I had a fun time in high school. I was having a tough time with some friends, and a teacher noticed that I was falling behind, not myself, etc. Asked if I wanted to talk. I said no. She asked if I would speak to the counselor. She scheduled a time for me to see him, and I sat there and said nothing. I wanted to say everything, and I couldn't. I regret it because I feel it set such a precedence in my life. I find it really hard to talk to people when I need it. It drives me nuts. Let my parents control every facet of my life and base my self-worth off of what my parents thought of me. Sucks for you. Going through the I'm a clever atheist phase and pissing many people off. You know what? I kind of went through this as well. It was very short. No, I didn't go through atheists. I was super into religion. Not even really super into it. I just remembered I tried telling this atheist guy who followed me around all the time in track. God, that guy was so annoying. I was like, you should just be Christian now. And he's like, no. I'm like, okay. But the fact that I even said that in the first place is like, why did I do that? Whatever. That kid was annoying. I don't really care. Too much rating in WoW. Rating's the best, though. I'd be rating TK or SSC, and a girl would call on the phone. I'd have to take headset off, so I'd be sort of absent from the raid, raging because the girl's talking, not saying a word so she would get the hint. Looking back, that was fucking stupid. Still top healing charts. Fuck yeah. This guy knows what's up. That was college for me. Far too much WoW playing in college. I skipped class far too often with the worst excuses. I did that too. Oh, WoW was so much fun. I am so glad that WoW came out after I graduated college. That would have been so bad for me. I have purposely avoided games like that. Instead, I logged 500 hours in Skyrim. Still in high school, raided too much Siege to force myself to quit raiding. It was destiny for me the first half of this year. Turned down some girls in high school because I thought I was more popular or better than them or whatever. Oh my god, you're so dumb. But these are regrets, I guess. Even though I was pretty much the most average guy who there is. They weren't bad looking or weirdos. I was just far too concerned with what everyone else thought of me. If I was with a certain girl, what would people think? Now in college, I have pretty much non-existent love life. Spent the first half being an awkward and overthinking asshat who was afraid of most social interactions. Luckily, the second half picked up and totally turned around. Not giving a fuck does wonders. I emailed a girl when I was in 7th grade and told her I had a crush on her. She was attractive, popular, funny, and was also a cheerleader. You know, basically like every boy's dream girl. I was the kid who was labeled as a loser, and I also talked with a lisp, so honestly, I didn't really have a chance, but you know how that goes. We were friends because we had some classes together, but that was about it. Like I said, one day my 7th grade boy hormones got the best of me, and I decided to send her an email and express my feelings to her and how much I liked her. Much to my surprise, she did email me back and say we were just friends. I was disappointed and instantly regretted it. From there on, I didn't go for any girls that were blatantly out of my league. Wait, what? This is, what's something you did in high school that you regret? Why would you regret that? Oh, I guess because you didn't like getting rejected. Hey, you went for it. That's more than a lot of people do. I don't go for girls out of my league for the fact that I know I'm going to get rejected and that I'm too self-conscious about my weight. I'm unmotivated, drunk, deep below average looking college student, and 2 nights ago I went to a party, and I was playing beer pong and getting high and plastered, hitting on girls and whatnot, when this girl walks in, and I pretty much instantly sobered up and all my liquid courage pretty much vanished. And I'd pretty much all the guys and girls at the party knows how beautiful this girl was. She had like maybe 2 beers and somehow mustered up the courage to walk up to her and talk and start talking. After my 2 friends promised me I had no chance, an hour later her hands were up my shirt and we were making out with her grinding against me right there at the party. She gave me her number and said she hopes to see me soon. I'll probably fuck it up somehow, but at this point, don't sleep on the little guys. Sometimes we pull through, you just gotta stay confident. I like to call that the shotgun effect. It's not about landing a specific girl. It's about just asking out a whole bunch of them until one of them eventually says yes. Hit the gym. My biggest regret is the great stress reliever and you gain some muscle. I once gave a girl weed in exchange for nude pictures of herself. That was a bit of a scumbag transaction. Did you offer it or did she ask? Yeah, if she proposed to OP, I'd say that's fair and scumless game. And a little column A, little column B. I also then found nudes of one of her friends on her phone and emailed them to myself. I'm not super proud of that either. Karmazawi Cthulhu. Cthulhu would be ashamed of your being ashamed of that. Being too young to understand that the hot Asian chick was hitting on you every day. This seems like the realization came at a random time, like eating oatmeal for breakfast, and suddenly you just hold your hands to your head and yell, fuck. That actually reminds me of a time when I was in 9th grade. I sat next to this chick in my advanced algebra class, and she was really annoying. Like, she would always bug me during class, and she always wanted to, if it was a little bit cold outside, she would always ask for my sweater, and she would also try to hold my hand under the table, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? Stop bothering me. I'm just trying to do my work, and you're being really annoying. Plus, I know you have a boyfriend. I hang out with him sometimes after school. So, I don't know why you're doing this. It's literally so confusing to me. You know, that's what my 9th grade brain thought. It wasn't until later on that I figured out what was going on. I was like, oh, wow, it looks like I could have, I had a chance with her. Quite literally, because she also stabbed me once with her pencil because I wouldn't hold her hand, and that's how she finally got me to do it. And I made sure to make her feel really shitty about it. I was like, see, we're doing it. How boring. This sucks. Can we stop now? I didn't really like her, though, so it's not like I totally regret that or anything. It's just I didn't really get the realization until much later. But I don't really... It's not like I probably would have went for it either way. Because I didn't really like her. Being shy, I couldn't find it in myself to go up to people and attempt to make friends. I was surrounded by people my age, and I didn't take advantage of it. I'm now 21, working full-time, and paying the price of not knowing anyone because of that mistake. Hey, it's kind of hard to get out of being shy. I used to be shy for a little bit. When I say for a little bit, it was like 2 years. 2 years of my life, I used to be shy. So I know the pains. 2 years is a long time. What didn't I regret? Never going to prom. Couldn't get a date and didn't want to look stupid going by myself. In hindsight, it probably would have been fun, but I let my shyness get the best of me. Oh, I didn't go to prom either. I didn't want to go, though, so I don't regret it at all, but... I mean, I guess there are some people who do want to. I was extremely socially awkward and weird, but instead of trying to correct it like a decent person would, I just exaggerated my weirdness because it made me different. I don't think anyone took me seriously from age 12 to 19. It was bad, guys. Chubby goth kid, what could go wrong? Oh, that. Black and pink, I wore my makeup like this every day. This was seriously the only pair of pants I owned. 2 belts are better than 1, especially when you wear them over your pants and they serve no purpose. 16-year-old photography. Why did you have a... Oh, that looks dangerous. Then came the dollar store red leopard print tights. My friend called them herpy tights because that's exactly what they look like. I also wore a hoodie every single day for 4 years, no matter how hot it was. Ooh, you could not do that where I live. Hoodie in August. Why? You have such a cute dress on. My room, 2005. That looks like a typical teenager room. And this was my desk. Typical teenager desk. Typical teenager mistakes. My only regret is not making enough mistakes like this. I wish I had more things to look back on and cringe. Then there was a time I went to school looking like this. What's wrong with that? I knew like 10 songs on this guitar, but would pose with all my brother's guitars for MySpace photos until he caught me doing so. Oh, I remember MySpace. I used to have one of those. 2009, getting better. 2009, I acquired a trench coat and began my quest of exposing myself to historical landscapes. You'd think I would have gotten better after high school. Nope, I'm 20 here. Now that I have to be a normal adult, the only time I'm truly my element is in Halloween. Still can't resist anything with skulls on it, but at least the makeup is gone. Huh. I thought I was the only one who carried a spork in my pocket. The Penguin of Doom. Oh god. Is it bad that my first thought was, that's not so bad. That's how me and my friends dressed and acted. Was my first thought too. Honestly, it's just two sides of the same spectrum. You have people who work really hard to fit in and be popular. People who work really hard to not fit in, but are really just trying to fit into their group that doesn't want to fit in, and everyone else in the middle. Unfortunately, our side's just really fucking cringy-worthy when we look back. Mom, sweetie, are you okay? You don't know me. Where did I go wrong? My dad actually encouraged it. No one wanted to date me, so that was the plus for him. Plus, he liked having an excuse to go to concerts all the time. Yeah, if I ever had kids who were going through a phase like that, I would totally encourage it. That's what I do for my little brother. He's a teenager now, and he wanted to get gauges. He likes to wear a mohawk. And he won't shave his mustache. And I just encourage all of it. It's like, oh, do everything that you want. I wish I had made more mistakes like this so I could regret them later on. Because your teenage years are the best times to do stupid shit like this. He's such a sweet kid, though. My childhood years. She looks like someone who had fun. I think my entire life is just one big blunder. Well, at least you don't seem boring. Yeah, that's a good one. Being edgy and antisocial. I'm working on that. Antisocial is something that I'm really trying to work on. The person who made this, I think, is a teenager who's kind of weird. Because he comments on like a whole bunch of the weird ones, like, I can relate to that. I wore polo shirts and cargo shirts. I wore polo shirts and cargo shorts. I was the hottest lady in 9th grade, constantly having to turn the boys away. Oh, she was a girl. I was like, yeah, polo shirts are kind of dumb, but what's wrong with cargo shorts? Well, I mean, they're not really good looking either. I just wear, actually, you know what, now that I think about it, all I wear are like sweatshorts now. Since I rarely ever actually have to leave the house. No, she said what she meant. 90% of the things I said / thought were cool. Took AP World History. It destroyed my grades. Made sophomore year miserable and honestly wasn't even useful. AP classes. Oh shit, I've been reading this for a long time. I gotta add this. AP classes are really nice for getting rid of general education requirements in college, assuming you pass the AP tests. Each AP test you take is essentially one less class you have to take, unless it's part of your major. Also helped with registering early for classes because I had a higher class standing based on credits. Boo, dumb. Let's see, likely going to be buried, but my regret is also my biggest regret in general. There was a girl in my elementary school named Jocelyn. She had a horrific temper and was what we'd call at the time a spaz. Everyone made fun of her, and I was no different. It makes me so sad to even type that out. I was just trying to fit in, given my lack of friends, but that's not an excuse. I was just an asshole. Anyways, I get to find out that her home life is pretty much utter shit, so I back off. I start trying to be nice as high school hits. 9th grade is near over, and she asks me out. Not sure what that means for others, but for us, it meant being boyfriend and girlfriend. I didn't like her that way, and since I was still an asshole, I had my friend seriously say no for me. That was the last time I saw her at school, was her crying after he told her. I didn't hear from her again from that point on. I had no idea where she went. Transferred schools? I don't know. She vanished until one day. I was at work. I worked at retail. No, I was at work. I worked at a certain video game retail chain in the mall. High school was over. I was working before going back to school, and in she walked. Holy shit, she looked more grown up, even offered a smile. She was with the greasy-haired guy in a dirty coat. I said hi. We made the smallest of talk. How have you been? Staying in the area? She introduced me to her boyfriend. He barely even looked at either of us. She did not look happy. I screamed on the inside at myself. Stop with the small talk. Say it. Apologize. You know you were terrible. Just say it how you regret it. I didn't. She leaves. I tell my coworker the Cole Notes version. He said, man, go after her. Go. I've got this. Just go. Thanks, Will. I will never, ever forget that. I literally run out of the store and look left and right down the halls. I can't see anything. I pick a direction and run. Nothing. I run back the other way, looking in stores, looking for her. Even the greasy-haired douche canoe with the dirty coat. I lost her. I know I was an asshole. I'll be the first to admit it. I feel like the unfulfilled apology and the genuine pain of regret I hold for how I treated her, and how I couldn't just say it when it counted as a fitting punishment. But if it would mean anything at all for her sake, I wish I had the opportunity to meet her again to say it right. Not over email, not a phone call. Sit down for a coffee, give her a hug. She didn't deserve any of the shit she got. Not from her classmates, not from her family, if anything I heard is true. But most importantly, not from me. I can't control others, but I sure can control myself, blah blah blah. I'm not who I was, but I wish I was who I am, blah blah blah. I'm so sorry, Jacqueline. Edit, thanks for the golden kind words. I ended up finding her on Facebook, and has been pointed out to me. An apology of some kind is better than no apology at all, and so I have sent her a message and apologized. I have no idea how she'll react, even if she'll react at all. I'm honestly terrified. I've lived with this guilt for a long time. It feels weird to come out to her about it, but I suppose she's lived the scars of how I and the other kids treated her for far longer. She deserves that at least. Thanks again. This has been all extremely cathartic. Edit 2. Well, I heard back. Thanks for the continued kind words. I'm really glad I did this. Her response with personal information edited out. Baby T. Thanks. It's okay, though. I know I was/am different and accept that. And besides you and the other friend were nice to me in comparison to the rest. Congrats on getting married and on your kids. I hope you teach them your comeback king skills. LOL. All class. I responded again letting her know that being different is an excuse or reason to be treated differently, but thanked her for reading it and giving me the opportunity to let her know how I was feeling. We're currently making small talk on Facebook. I'm seriously glad I did this. Thanks so much, and blah, 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 la-di-la-di-da. Okay. Well, that got boring really fast. Okay, that's the it for this. This one's like half an hour long.